Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another true crime, Unsolved Mysteries reading. So this is for Volume 4, Episode 3, The Severed Head of the new season of Unsolved Mysteries. If you haven't seen my last reading, I'll put a link to it up here. I have a full playlist on all the episodes so far on the new Netflix series. But this one is called The Severed Head. So if you are not familiar with the story, the summary is a woman's head randomly showed up in the woods. A 15-year-old boy found it, and they have no idea who it belongs to or how it got there. Throughout the episode, they find out that there's a busybody neighbor that had a friendship with the 15-year-old boy, which I'm looking at you like this, but whatever. We'll get to that later. And they had a falling out, and he claimed that he thinks that the boy killed a horse that he liked. It wasn't even his horse, named Ginger. And then he was saying the boy is the one who stole the head. It's all this crazy stuff. Basically, this man claimed that it was the boy that found that found the head, claiming that it was him that like did something to the woman, which makes very little sense. And he tried to say that the boy also killed the horse, and the people were suspecting that maybe he planted it to like frame the little boy because of their quote unquote falling out. Not the sirens in the background. And the man ended up ending his own life in 2020. It's just, there's a lot going on. All right. So watch the episode. We're basically going to see what happened to this woman, where she came from. And, if I believe his name was Jay, had anything to do with it. All right. So remember, these readings are all legend from tapers only, and let's get started. Woo. Long-winded, baby. Okay, so if you like these, please join the YouTube members, the link down below. You get access to exclusive readings that have never been seen before. You get access to celebrity readings that you can't see, and pick a card and you can win a reading from me, okay? $5, $10, $15 tier. Go ahead and check that out, especially because sometimes I'm not monetized from videos like this that are true crime. Okay. So let's start off with who Jane Doe was. Oh, she's the world reversed. I figured I was going to pull the world. Who did it and why? Money. Yeah. Okay. So if you ask me, I think this was done. I think they're right that this was done for illegal body part trading and buying and selling, because the world is reversed, which means I don't know if I necessarily believe she's from America. That to me is about like other places around the world, and the black market trading of body parts. Yeah, I don't think she was from here. The Four of Cups is about who did it, apathy. So that means that they're not attached at all to her. So it wasn't anything serious in terms of like revenge plot or anything of that nature. The Four of Cups is like, I have to do it. So to me, this is some sort of like illegal body part trading. So yeah, I do think she died for whatever reason, maybe natural causes, whatever. And then they were like, money, Page of Pentacles, the motivator. So to me, it's like there was whatever body part they needed from her, there was a high reward for it. So like it was highly sought after. So it was a monetary benefit. Yeah. So I think that's what was going on. Pretty straightforward. Now I want to see the relationship between Jay, Hierophant, the boy, Ace of Cups reversed, and the Two of Swords. Well, there's the separation between the two of them. I mean, the Hierophant is like a commitment in marriage. It's also like religion and religious fanatic energy. And the Ace of Cups, the boy definitely wanted nothing to do with him. That's like a falling out of love. So to me, that's almost like if someone was like, you're actually crazy. And the Two of Swords being reversed. Now, if you want my opinion, allegedly for entertainment only, I think it's weird. I think the dynamic between him, that wild man, and a 15-year-old boy is very weird and inappropriate, but I don't obviously have any proof, and I'm not going to comment much further. I just think it's weird and strange. And we're going to leave it at that, moving on. But I do think there was a falling out between them. I think that part is true. I'm just a little confused about the Hierophant. To me, that's some sort of judgmental, sort of like morality issue, but we're going to leave it there. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is reversed. So the Seven of Pentacles would be about like, look at that as Seven of Pentacles being reversed is like getting out of my comfort zone, putting a lot of effort into something and going above and beyond. And then the Knight of Wands is action, and the Three of Wands. I think that there's a piece of the puzzle that they were missing in terms of the investigation. There is a third party that was involved here. So for me, there's someone here that Jay worked with or did something with that he was close to. Yep. Chariot's reversed. He didn't work alone. Ace of Pentacles. Yep. So paying for something, Towers, dramatic catastrophic event, the Chariot could be an issue with like a car or travel, or perhaps like someone was like driving somewhere. All I can tell you, and I know he did off himself via vehicle, but that's not necessarily what I'm seeing here. I think this to me is about, do I think that Jay had something to do with the, severed head showing up in the woods? Yes. Do I think that it was him that did it? Like that was like, do I think that he was the one that was going to conventions and sneaking around and stealing things from dumpsters? No. What I think is that he knew someone that was a part of that entire thing. Because the Two of Cups, the Magician reverse, and the Five of Swords is an issue with details, saying one thing and doing another, and a connection between two people. Now, this man is a busybody, okay? So he's in everybody's business, and he knows everything. And so for me, I see a third party going in between everyone. So what I see in my mind's eye is someone who would walk through the woods. So I'll tell you what I see. I see, now this might be literal, but it's also most probably a metaphor. So I see him in his telescope, and I see him looking, and he sees someone walk by, and this person is in a suit. So to me, that represents someone that's doing this for business, and they consistently walk by this area, which means they have to travel past Jay in order to get to where they need to go. Because I see them on a mission to go somewhere that is nearby to his home. So there is some sort of like home base or something in the general vicinity or the area close by. That doesn't mean that it's like super close, but it means metaphorically that there's a reason why they would pass by. And Jay seems like the type of person to follow people or befriend people. And so for me, I see him as being friendly with someone who could use him. So it's almost like if Jay stumbled upon someone who was in this sort of business, and this person had to help keep his mouth shut because he stumbled upon it himself, because he's nosy and in everybody's shit, and I need to kind of keep him quiet. And I definitely think there's some sort of paying off or, exchange of services that does seem like an effort to keep him quiet. So I think this person taught him things. I think this person showed him things. I think this person was almost like a mentor to him, where they were teaching about everything. This is not someone that I see on the computer researching. This is someone who I see talking to someone directly involved in this type of behavior, who had to consistently go back and forth. And so it's almost like Jay seemed to have been a lookout, a guard, or just a go-between, or I'm not sure if Jay was being sort of like helped and given information to shut him up, or if it was, you can help us, or both. But he was definitely more involved in this than he went to a dumpster and got something. In fact, I'm pretty sure the reason why you're sort of getting nervous is because it looks like whoever was a part of this was getting increasingly frustrated with him. it seems like he wasn't holding up his end of the bargain and he was making things obvious. So I think that Jay was in trouble. I think he was in trouble because whoever was involved in this was like, there's too many people here. There's too many eyes on this. What did you do? I think Jay stole this from someone else. I think Jay stole this from his friend or partner or whatever this was. I think he stole it from them. And what's interesting is I think that when I'm in Jay's energy, Jay was convinced that the police would just grab the 15-year-old boy and put him in jail or whatever. I don't know if he necessarily thought that he would get pinned for it, but I definitely think he thought that he would get in trouble and get scared, and then it would blow over. I don't know why he didn't think critically that this would be a bigger issue than it was. I also think that the person that he was connected to is probably who taught him how to use the deep freezer that he had. He had his dead dog in the freezer, all this. When it comes to his, I see it in my mind's eye. Once I get into energy, I can just see it. So when it comes to him and the boy, I think the boy had a curious nature. I think that the fallout, quote unquote, between the two of them, I'm not going to go super in depth with this. You already know how I feel. I said in the beginning. But I do think it involved somewhat and part of him showing him things that the boy freaked out about. I wouldn't be surprised if he started talking about, like, freezing body parts or the whole, illegal trade or whatever. And the boy just got scared. I don't know if I would say that the boy knew everything, but I think he was shown enough to where Jay was freaking out. And that's why Jay retaliated. But the boy was too young to kind of put two and two together. That's kind of what I'm seeing, amongst other things, but whatever. And to me, it definitely looks like, because I just see the boy just being scared and be like, what the fuck, that's creepy. And then him kind of like judging him, and then Jay getting nervous. Because he's like, oh my God, what if he doesn't keep my secret? But I don't think the boy would have even, it doesn't really feel like the boy was going to like do anything until whatever. Anyways, I'm not touching that too much. I also feel like, I don't know if I would necessarily say Jay was the only person that knew who this person was in the area, because they were using someone else's facility. So I see this person in the suit going to someone else's facility, and whoever's the head of that facility, or at least part of that facility, knew this person as well. It's like if I rented out your space. Like if I rented out your funeral home, but that's not what it is. It's a different kind of building. It's like, it looks industrial to me. What I'm seeing is like a warehouse, or like there's like conveyor belts and stuff. So I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's like a warehouse of sorts or whatever. You know how like people make different types of makeup in the same warehouse? It's kind of like that, but I don't really know what I'm looking at here in my mind's eye. But the Emperor, it's like whoever's in charge there. King of Wands and Eight of Pentacles. It's almost like, you know how during the mafia days, like the mafia would go to like a place and it would be like a front, or they would like go and like play cards at a bar, but then like in the basement of a bar, but they would also like off people in the basement as well. It was like a double purpose, but no one really knew because it was just a bar up front. That's kind of what I'm seeing, is like something was going on, is like quote unquote in the basement. There's like something else going on in secret. It's like if I use this for something else at night, or stored things in your freezer, or stored things in your place at night. So to me, I think the police probably scratched the surface of something much bigger that was going on. I don't think they were ever going to find out anything, because it looks like this is like an upper echelon issue. Like, to me, this was to be something that the FBI would be involved in, or something that like supersedes regular law enforcement. And so even if there was a lead, they would not have known about it, and it would have been squashed. Because to me, I'm seeing shh, so hush hush, which means that this is something that even if the police solved, miraculously they wouldn't. There would be other hands in this. This is a little darker and sinister than I think people realize. Because to me, this is all about the illegal body part trade and how deep rooted it is and how many corrupt people there are. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. That's about all I see. Hopefully one day we find out the truth. But yeah, join the YouTube members, link down below. I'm sure the boy is like 25 now, so hopefully he's at peace with everything and he's good and happy. I'm sure he didn't want to be a part of this because it's probably not the greatest memory with the fact that this is like him finding a severed head. So, yeah, join the YouTube members. Good luck. Girl, there's so much more I wanted to say. I'm just keep my mouth shut.